You have seen The Office at least 10 times, haven't you? Stop denying it. I see that guilt in your eyes. But why do you keep going back to the same old episodes? It feels like a warm blanket for your exhausted brain. Science says you aren't lazy, you are actually self-medicating. Welcome to the hidden psychology of the comfort rewatch. We live in a world that is completely chaotic and unpredictable. Every time you open social media, there is a new disaster. Your brain is constantly trying to predict what happens next. Psychologists call this the cognitive load of uncertainty. Your mind is essentially a computer with too many tabs open. It is burning energy just trying to keep up with reality. Eventually, that processing power needs a serious break. Enter your favorite show that you have memorized line for line. It offers something real life rarely provides, guaranteed outcomes. When you press play, you know exactly what you are getting. There are no jump scares, no sudden tragedies, no awkward shocks. Your brain doesn't have to work hard to process the plot. It can finally put its feet up and take a breath. Think of your brain like a muscle that lifts heavy weights. Learning a new movie is like lifting a 200-pound dumbbell. Rewatching a favorite is like lifting a single feather. This phenomenon is known in psychology as cognitive ease. We naturally crave things that are easy for our brains to process. Fluency makes us feel safe, smart, and totally in control. Uncertainty, on the other hand, triggers our internal alarm bells. Let's talk about the powerful role of nostalgia here. Nostalgia isn't just remembering the past, it is feeling it again. It acts as an emotional anchor during a turbulent storm. When you rewatch, you aren't just seeing the characters again. You are revisiting a younger, perhaps simpler version of yourself. It reconnects you with a time when life felt manageable. Psychologists call this a boost in existential stability. It reminds you of who you are when things get confusing. Let's dive into the fascinating concept of the hedonic treadmill. Humans are wired to constantly chase new and better things. We think a new show will give us that dopamine spike. But new experiences come with a risk of total disappointment. You might invest 6 hours into a show that ends terribly. That is a gamble that an anxious mind refuses to take. Rewatching eliminates the gamble and guarantees the reward. You are trading the thrill of the unknown for the joy of certainty. It is a transaction that pays off every single time. Let's analyze the actual neuroscience happening under your skull. When Jim prank calls Dwight, you know the punchline. Because you know it's coming, your brain releases anticipation dopamine. It is the neurological equivalent of a perfect high five. You feel smart because you predicted the outcome correctly. This creates a tiny but meaningful boost in self-efficacy. In a world where you control nothing, you control this. This behavior often spikes during times of massive stress. Think back to the height of the global pandemic lockdowns. Viewership numbers for old sitcoms absolutely skyrocketed overnight. People weren't looking for new dark dramas or thrillers. They were desperate for the safety of Friends and Seinfeld. It was a collective coping mechanism for global anxiety. We used predictable fiction to soothe unpredictable reality. But is there a dark side to this comforting habit? Can you actually have too much of a good thing? Psychologists warn about the concept of avoidance coping strategies. If you only watch reruns, you might be hiding. You are retreating into a fictional world to escape real problems. It becomes a bunker rather than a resting place. Growth requires uncertainty and the friction of new challenges. If you never watch anything new, you never expand. You stop learning how to process complex, difficult emotions. It is the psychological equivalent of eating only comfort food. Delicious, but eventually you will lack essential nutrients. There is a fascinating gender split in this behavior too. Studies suggest women often rewatch for the emotional comfort. Men often rewatch to hunt for details they missed before. One seeks the feeling, the other seeks the analysis. But both are looking for a sense of mastery. Mastery over the material means mastery over your environment. Let's look at the concept of social surrogacy theory. We form genuine parasocial bonds with our favorite characters. Rewatching is like visiting old friends who never judge you. They are always there, exactly where you left them. For lonely people, this provides a critical psychological bridge. It fulfills a deep human need for belonging without social risk. Think about how this relates to your sleeping habits. Many of us put on reruns just to fall asleep. Silence can be too loud when your thoughts are racing. The familiar audio track acts as a mental white noise. It distracts your amygdala just enough to let you drift off. It is a modern lullaby for the anxious adult mind. Streaming services know this psychology and they exploit it. Why do you think they categorize comfort shows separately? They are banking on you needing that emotional safety net. The algorithm feeds you what your anxious brain craves. It is a perfectly designed loop of consumption and calm. But here comes the surprising twist you didn't expect. Rewatching might actually make you more creative. When your brain isn't busy decoding plot, it wanders. That mental wandering is where your best ideas are born. You free up processing power for your own imagination. The show becomes a background hum for your own thoughts. So you aren't wasting time, you are incubating ideas. This explains why writers often work with the TV on. They need the noise, but not the distraction of novelty. Let's summarize the journey through your own mind. You rewatch because your brain is tired of guessing. You crave the safety of the known in an unknown world. You are soothing your anxiety with guaranteed emotional outcomes. It is a brilliant, subconscious act of emotional regulation. So, the next time you open Netflix for the 100th time, don't feel guilty about pressing play on that old favorite. Your brain is just trying to catch a break. You are simply tuning in to your own internal therapy session. But maybe, just maybe, try one new episode tomorrow. Give your brain a little challenge to keep it sharp. Balance the comfort of the old with the thrill of the new. After all, life is about managing that balance. We are creatures of habit seeking safety in a storm. Your favorite show is the anchor holding you steady, but you still need to sail the ship eventually. So go ahead, watch The Office for the 11th time. Just know that your psychology is driving the remote. It knows exactly what it is doing. And honestly, that is perfectly okay. Sometimes the best self-care is a predictable story. A story where you know the ending. Because in real life, you rarely do. That is the hidden power of the rewatch. It gives you control when you feel you have none. It is the cheapest, most effective therapy available. And it is available 24 hours a day. So, what are you going to watch tonight? I bet you already have something in mind. And I bet you know exactly how it ends. And that, my friend, is the whole point. Enjoy the comfort. You have earned it. Just remember to come back to reality eventually. Reality might be scary, but it is the only place with new stories. And your brain needs those too. Thanks for exploring your mind with us today. If you relate to this, smash that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into your strange brain. Now go pick your poison. I won't judge. See you in the next video. But for now, let's hit play one more time.